Test, test. Welcome to the first live stream here inside the Arctic Polar Circle, and I don't know what to expect, but it's the first one and I hope you enjoy this, and everyone is here to ask me some questions. So I don't know if someone is here at all, but we will see, and I will wait a little bit and yeah, just see what will happen. So this live stream is that you have the opportunity to ask your questions, as I'm getting a lot of questions all the time on my Instagram or my email and the homepage. So now is the possibility for you to answer your questions if you write in the chat, and I can get back to them and ask them. So I don't know if it's working, but I see there are 5 people watching, but I don't see any of your messages. So if you would like to ask some questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Yeah, there's one. That guy 555. Hello and welcome. Hi, what advice or resources would you say are best to learn Norwegian while not living in Norway? Well, one thing what is good to use is maybe Duolingo. And they also have some books which you can maybe buy online in Norway. Maybe you can order them and get them sent to your country. They have like New in Norway, and those are really simple books where you can start and learn Norwegian. The other thing where you could learn Norwegian is if you use Netflix and you change the language. You can put them on Norwegian language, or you can switch it on in your native language, but you use subtitles in Norwegian. This is one good way, or one good possibility, which I have used in 2007 to 2008, but I have been living here in Norway in that time for 10 months, and I learned a lot from the television. So with the subtitles, all the movies are in English, and I switched down to Norwegian subtitles. So this helped me a lot on my way. And I also went to Norwegian lessons 150 hours. In 2007 it was mandatory if you come from a different country that you have to go to the Norwegian course at the local school. They call it voksenopplæring. It's like adults teaching on English. And where you had the teacher with some other refugees. I have been there in the class. And then he taught everything from scratch with the Norwegian language. And the other thing which is really good if you try to connect with other people who are also learning Norwegian, or maybe you will find a Norwegian friend, so you can practice every day or once a week, do an appointment, try to speak Norwegian, And if you don't get further with a language, you can go and switch on English, and then switch immediately back to Norwegian. This is what I did. And if you're consistent and disciplined with this, you can learn really fast Norwegian in a really short amount of time. So I hope it was possible to answer your question. Hope there are some more questions. Anyway, in the meantime, until there are some more questions dropped in, we have now the 10th of November, and you see it's dark outside. Yesterday was a really nice Northern Lights show. It's started when it was getting dark, but it has been active all day. And regarding the Northern Lights, it was the first day again since a long time that we had nice weather conditions. We have been really unlucky after the really good summer we had. It was really dry and hot summer. Even the nights have been like 22 Celsius, really warm. It's not normal for Northern Norway in the Arctic Polar Circle. And now we had like mostly rain since September. So it's a bit annoying, but you cannot change the weather. But still, it's nice to be here. There's a question, in which area of Norway do I live? I live inside the Arctic Polar Circle. It's next to Lofoten. Most people connect my area with Lofoten, which is basically not right. Because the Vesterålen Island, it's way more bigger than the Lofoten Island. The Lofoten Island is only a tiny part of a region. And where is Vesterålen, it's way more bigger. And Vesterålen, it's more in the center. It's only 1/2 hour to Svolvær at my place, 1/2 hour to Whale Safari Andenes, 1/2 hour to the local airport, which is located in Evenes, Harstad, Narvik. And it's kind of funny with this airport, it has like 3 names. Harstad, Evenes, Narvik, because it's connecting all the area. But this airport is located in Evenes Kommune, municipality at least. And area, it's in Nordland, it's called. And Vesterålen Island in Sortland. It's the exactly location. Hello, back there to Pakistan. Just to read your question. I'm from Pakistan. I will graduate from my 4 years computer science degree. What are my routes to move to Norway? I know I can do masters, but now Norway has fees for university. Yeah, they have applied some fees, but as I knew, they aren't so high. I don't know how it is for people who are outside of Norway and living outside of Norway, how this would apply. The funny thing in Norway, it's really difficult, even that they have a common system now in Norway with bachelor and master, or in the world with bachelor and master. It's still a problem to getting accepted your education. And this I don't quite understand, but it's maybe most in the European countries and maybe even in the US. Many times you can end up that you have to do your degree again, which is a bit stupid normally, and where you have to do all the school things again. It's quite a bit strange. Same in my case, when I came to Norway, I had to get my education accepted. I had to argue with them for nearly 2 years, and the company, they abused this situation. Even that I did a full-time job as an electrician and a good job, I had to I get lower payment in the beginning. So this is a bit strange, but you can choose the right company, the right place, and it's really important to join the unions, so you're not getting messed with your salary. The drones I use, it's the DJI Air 2S, and hello Eskil, it has been a long time. It was fun when we have been in Unstad surfing. It was really nice. I use the DJI Mavic Air 2S. But at the moment it seems to be at the low light in Norway. It's a bit tricky to use this drone as I get a lot of noise. I did not figure out yet how I can adjust the settings to get the most out of the footage. Same like now, I'm using my iPhone, and on the right side it's my GoPro. There's the next question. Do you ever travel south? Do you have any plans for it in the future? This is a funny question. I had planned to go to south with my first van, the Mitsubishi L300. I have a full playlist about this build, and I also have some van life videos from this car when I was traveling in the local area to Senja and mostly to Lofoten. And when we had COVID, it was a bit a tricky situation. After COVID, the gasoline has been so expensive that I dropped the trip. And the other year again, there has been only rain in south, and when it makes no point to do any holidays in South Norway, especially when it is here really warm and hot. So yeah, I still did not went south with the van, but my plan is hopefully do it next year. I will see, but it's also depending on the weather conditions, and it applies to everything here in Norway. It's like going from day to day and just see how the weather is, because if it's here nice weather, especially in the summer, it's the best region to be. It's in northern Norway. Hello Richard, nice to join you. Has been a long time. Hello Alex, do you have any family that lives where you do now? Have you had any problems making friends there? You have a very good profession that can be useful any place you should ever live. That's true. I have a family nearby, but this case is closed. I have tried so many times to connect with my family here. My dad is living nearby, only 1 hour, but it has not been working out quite well. So that's why I'm living mostly for my part for myself. And yeah, and also shut off. I used to shut off people who are negative and only complaining. So I choose my environment wisely the last 2 years. Problem making friends, yes, it's without offending any Norwegians here now, which are watching. It's a bit difficult. Norwegians are basically really open and friendly. But if you try to connect them more on friendly basic, it's a bit difficult, or it can be tricky. But it also has several reasons. Most of the people, they have like a family, they have kids, they have their own life, and I fully understand it. If you have a 9-to-5 job from Monday to Friday, it's not much time left to have maybe a circle with friends. And this might be also a big reason why it's a bit more difficult. The other thing is, I live here on a really remote place. Even with people who are from here don't admit it, but it's kind of like living on the moon here. It's really, really off the society somehow. If you compare it with other places or other European countries, bigger cities, it's very different. Here are only 10,000 people living. On the island, it's about 30,000 people. On Lofoten, it's around 25,000 people living. So there are not many people, and it's you can see it on the clubs and activities. So it's very different from bigger cities. Hello, Stockies. Nice to meet you, and good to see you again. Yeah, and the van build journey, yes, it has been a little pause on the van build now. I did not manage to pass the test for Statens vegvesen. It's like for 2 years, where you have to control your vehicle and they check it, the technical part on the car. So I have to fix it first, and there's also a bit work left on the build, but it's nearly finished for completion. And yeah, this van is quite expensive. It's also the solutions I have chosen. So it might be finished maybe in the spring, maybe next year, I think, or during the winter. It depends. I still want to buy some windows, and it's also a bit costly, but pricey. I will see what will happen. How would you say is the Norwegian public transport? Are trains and buses reliable, or is a car necessary in Norway? Well, it depends where you are in Norway. If you are in Oslo, it's really good. It's working really good out. Beside, if they have like -20, because they have electric buses, and then they stop working. But you have the tram, the twig, the train, the T-Bahn, underground train. So in Oslo at least you have a lot of possibilities. and they are really going frequently. I think the same is also in Bergen or the other bigger cities. I also have been in Trondheim. It was also good, quite good working in Trondheim, so it wasn't a big deal there to get around. But if you are in northern Norway, you can wait at the bus stop and the bus is not showing up without any notification or notice. So you can stay in the cold, freeze to death, and expecting the bus to come, but it's not coming. So the essential part in northern Norway is to have a car. So you avoid the problems. And everyone know if you use a cab, it's really expensive. Well, we don't have snow. It disappeared like a couple days ago with a lot of rain and wind and storm. We had maybe 3 or 4 days with snow. Totally. Maybe let's say maybe up to 6 days since October, and this is a really special and strange winter season we have. As you know, it has been really bad as well since September, and also really warm. If I would trust my stomach, I think we will not have much snow until January. So I can be wrong, you never know up here. It can be suddenly the weather changing and then a lot of snow is coming, like 1 or 2 meters. Or it will stay like this. No snow, mostly plus degrees, and a lot of rain. Hello Melin. You're French and you're studying Bachelor of IT Networking. Do you know if it's possible to find an internship in Norway for 2 months? This is a bit difficult question on my end, but as I hear it from other people, it should be possible to get the internship. Especially it's probably for free. And many companies are looking for internships, and they also have like programs in Norway. I'm not sure if they only apply for Norwegians. They call it Heia Norge, but it's mostly for northern Norway. But it's worth a shot to try this out. And in generally, IT professions are demanded in Norway. And really good paid compared as electrician, and same like everything like craftsman or craftsmanship is demanded in Norway, so it's easy to get a job. Same like nursing and nurse, it's really easy to get a job in Norway. But the tricky part is to get a knowledge your education, your papers. But in many cases they accept also versions in English, so you don't need to translate them. You send them in to the right place. I know it's different from profession to profession, so I cannot answer it on everyone's behalf. But it's easy to check up in Norway, as everything is online and really easy to find and to look up. Hello Indian Fun Club. How to move Norway? Okay, how is it to get a bus driver job in Norway? Well, as I know, bus drivers are demanded on demand, so you just need to look up on Google for bus companies. It can be Tromsø, Oslo, anywhere, and just try to apply. Send them a message, apply, and ask for a job. And then you will see how it goes from there. I hope I could answer your question on this subject. Yeah, as an internship in Norway, it shouldn't be a problem. I can look it up one time later, and you can drop me maybe a private message or comment here on the live stream. I will fix it and I will try to answer it with a proper link. I'm not sure if I would be able to find it, but there are lots of internships in Norway, and it should be possible, and especially if it's not paid. So it's not a big deal at all. Many companies probably looking for internships where they don't need to pay. As you know, the corporate business, so if something is for free, people take it, you know. Hello Niklas. You're probably from Germany, or am I right? Yeah, so far we are waiting for. I see the camera just stopped. It's not working. So far we are closing into the Christmas season, and we don't know how the weather will be like, but it can be stormy or it can be really nice. Most people at the moment are waiting for ski conditions. As you know, you can do backcountry skiing here and snowboarding in Norway. It's all sorts of activities which is possible. But we're living here, I'm living here on the coastal region, and it's more wet and unstable climate. If you go to South Norway or more to the mainland or closer to the border of Sweden, where you will have solid and stable winter conditions. There's a new question, Richard Parker. What are your plans for the next outdoor trip? I really enjoyed watching all of your videos, but your travel videos are very special for people who can't travel anymore, like myself. Thank you so much. Yes, I have planned the van life series, where I will make a mission to travel with my new van during the winter time in the entire northern Scandinavia, so which is including Norway, Sweden and Finland. And for this I need to have the car properly working and it is ready to use, but there are some small things I need to fix before I can go on this journey, but my plan is to do it in January. I'm not sure if the car would survive it regarding to the temperatures. It can be minus 30 Celsius in Finland and in Sweden, but this is a car which is delivered to Norway and adjusted in Norway, so it shouldn't be a problem to do winter van life with this car. The most problem would probably be if there are some heavy storms along the coast, where the car might flip over, which happened a few times in Lofoten. It's possible. Even lorries, trucks are flipping to the side on the worst storms. But let's not hope for that is happening. But the journey will be really controlled by the weather conditions. So if it's nice weather in Norway, I will go along the coast first, and then I go to Sweden and Finland, away from the coast where it's more stable. And other travel videos, if I go on a holiday, I might film it sometimes. The journey, how to get to the airport and how to get outside of Norway, as I did earlier this year in Morocco. Free hiking gear, what I like most or more satisfies with. Well, you need proper hiking boots, which I'm using. I used before Salomon, but now I'm not sure the brand. What's it called? It's a good question. But I also need to buy proper winter hiking shoes, which I did not found. But I heard there are some Finnish brands which should be really good. And depending if you go in the winter or summertime, you need like the spikes underneath your shoes, so they are really necessary. And I use the Asterix brand, which I'm really satisfied with. It's working really good, and they have a good warranty solution on all the Gore-Tex and the cloths that they are producing. So if you have any product failure, you can send them in, even if the warranty has run out. So which is why I try for the most part to stick with Asterix, which is really good. Here, a German comment. Thanks for my videos. They are informative and good. Thank you so much. If you would like to help me, you can spread the links, spread the videos on Facebook groups or in forums, which would help my channel a lot on the way. If I get more views, it would be really perfect. Thank you. And my van, yes, it's a big project. Even the painting, it was a setback for 2 weeks. I never painted a car, but in the end it worked really good. It worked out really good in the end. especially when it was the first time. And normally you shouldn't paint the car in the open sky, what I did. But yeah, I was observing the flies and the conditions in the evening, so I tried to do it in the morning and not in the sun, and it was working out. So I'm really happy about it. And yes, if I go towards northern part with my car, definitely I can stop in at your place, as it's located next to the E6 near Satamon. So it's either on the way back or it's on the way to towards the north. I saw one of your videos where you said the temperature was around 30 Celsius in the summer. Is it global warming effect? How would you think will be the weather in the few years in Norway for hiking? Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's the global warming effect, the temperature we had in the last 11 years, 12 years. We have been lucky that you could expect a summer like between the max temperature 40-45 Celsius in the sun. It's a big difference in Norway, at least in the Arctic polar circle, if you are inside the sun and outside the sun. Because if you're inside the sun, it's really hot, and the sun is so strong. I think it has something to do where we are located on the globe, that we are more up, so that we are kind of closer to the sun. I don't know. I'm not the expert on this or physics. But if you're in the sun, it's warm, and if you're in the shade, it can be really chill, even in the summer. But it wasn't that case in this year. We had even during the nights 20, 25, 18 Celsius, which is not common. It's normally common, maybe they call it a tropical night. It can happen. Only a few days each summer period, but this summer has been a blast. It was so warm, and tropical nights, you could sit outside and it was really warm, so it was a bit hard to sleep, but shouldn't complain. It's good to have a nice summer, especially up here in northern Norway. Normally you only have, if you're lucky, 3 weeks of a nice summer, but now the last 2-3 years it has changed, and I think it will be changing even more in the future, in the next years. We will see if the next year summer will also be really good and a long hot dry summer, then we could definitely say that the climate in the world is changing somehow. But some people said, due to the global warming, that it should be like an ice age somewhere on the part in the world, but it seems to be it's the opposite. So I don't know if I followed up good enough in school, but there's something not right. So the weather will be changing here, yes. We have longer summers. Most of the time you could expect a warm summer. It was only in the end of July and August for 3-4 weeks, around that period. This year we had 22 Celsius at the 17th of May, at the Constitution Day in Norway, which is normally cold. You can have like 3+ and snow. We could also have even snow in June. But the funny thing this year, on the 17th of May, it was 22 Celsius. And 3 days after, it was snowing and the snow was lying on the ground. And then we had like 2+. So it's unpredictable here, especially at the coast. So it's a bit hard to predict or tell anything about it. Well, we are now on 29 minutes. I think I will wrap this here up really soon in 5, maybe 8 minutes. If there are not coming any more specific questions. Which I could maybe answer. In France, temperature, particularly at night, is 5 plus to 6 Celsius compared to the last 30 years average. Is it like during the entire year, or is it now particularly during the winter season? Because I can imagine in France it should be also warm during the night in the summer, or is it dropping below to 6 Celsius? One thing regarding weather and temperature in Norway, what I miss for me, who is coming from middle of Europe, is that we don't have warm nights. At least it was last year like this, where you can sit outside with a t-shirt. Most of the time here in Norway you need a jacket or need some extra layers to not to freeze. And the other thing is also the mosquitoes. We have small mosquitoes, they're called knot, and they are really annoying and can bite like 30 times on your arms, on your skin, if it's unprotected. 1 year average for 1 year, okay. That's quite a low temperature for the whole country. I did not check up the statistic here for Norway, but it would be funny to check it out and see how it will have changed. At least the last 3 years would be really interesting. But the thing here is we have like we can have really cold winters, and the regions are different. Some days we can have minus 16, minus 20, minus 30, and like one other follower here, Stockis, is living more to the away from the ocean, which means they will have a long and cold winter about minus 30. It can be minus 40 as well, but I think this is not often. But this region there is way colder, as it's not located close to the ocean. And where I'm located, it's close to the Gulf Stream, and everyone knows the Gulf Stream has is working like a heater for this region, for Lofoten and Vesterålen. And we are so close that this is causing a mild climate through the entire winter season. Well, now we're in 33 minutes, so I think I will wrap it up for this day today. And if you would like to have a new live stream one time in the future again, just drop down a comment below when or how long it should be in between the live streams. It was fun to do one. It's my first one. It was nice to see you all here again, especially some names I really well known with, commenting all of my videos. Thank you for this. And yeah, during the summer we can reach 43 in south of France. That's really hot, yeah. This is also one reason why I decided to go to Norway. It's to escaping the Middle European climate, as it was in really hot and dry back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As you're writing here, 43 Celsius for several months, so it was a bit hard to work and there was no escape. Yeah, it was nice to see you everyone, and I will wish you a happy Sunday. Thank you to be here. Thank you for dropping the comments here and asking questions. This was really good, so this made the live stream happening. So there will be a few videos coming out the next Sundays. Yeah, but I couldn't film as much as I hoped due to the weather conditions as well. And in 1 week I will leave on a new work. So this means I will be away for nearly 2 months. 2 months. This will be tough, but I will see how it goes. And it will be interesting to see how the new working place is and the working environment. So I will take my computer with me and my hard disk, but I will try to mix something with old footage and try to make some videos out of it if it's possible. So yeah, have a nice Sunday.